On the contractor side, a contractor always says, well, we're working, we're going to have dirty shoes, we're going to track and make messes. That's true, but you don't have to make a mess through the whole house when you're working in the kitchen.
Yep.
You know, you can put down paper to protect the flooring.
Yep.
You can wear shoe coverings through the house. There's a lot of little detail things you can do that makes it a good job.
This is the Contractor Files podcast. Your hosts, Ethan McNeil and Trent Keith, take a deep dive into the construction and remodeling industry to uncover keys to success and pitfalls to avoid.
We are live.
All right, we're back again.
Yes.
I'm Trent Keith.
Yep, and I'm Ethan.
And we are back to talk about contractors and homeowners.
Yes. Yep. And I do not remember what episode this is, but I forgot to write it down, but this is an episode. Yep.
There you go. So, our topic today, are we going to do that now?
Yes, go for it. I'm going to adjust your mic real quick.
Uh-oh, is it not working right?
It looks like it's a little low.
Okay, our topic today is, what does it mean for a contractor to do a good job? You know, I think we should have had some homeowners in here that's had work done to help us with this one. You know,
yes.
They could have given us some tips on that, Ethan. So, what does it mean for a contractor to do a good job? You've got a long list. Why don't you start with one of yours?
Alrighty. Well, probably the most obvious thing is the quality of work. A contractor that does a good job does a good job with the task at hand. If you have a company or you're a homeowner and you're watching over someone doing work, the quality of work that is being done means, to me, what it means is that contractor is proud of what they're doing. They feel proud that they accomplished whatever it was, and that they would do the same type of work in their own home. So if you have a contractor that's not proud, or you're a person that's not proud of the work you're doing, then adjust it. Maybe you need to get into a different field that you're more, you're better at. And also, if you come to a crossroads where you're deciding what to do, and you're not sure what would be the better option for the homeowner, think about, what would I do for my own house? Well, what would I do for my spouse? Because your standards might be a little bit lower than what your spouse's would be, but yeah, that's the obvious one, is the quality of work that you're doing. That tells whether or not you did a good job for a homeowner.
There you go. Okay, that's a good one to start with. I think I'm going to start with the one we talk about a lot, and that is communication with the homeowner. Mm-hmm. So as you're doing the project, are you communicating through any options with the homeowner? I know there can be little things that come up during the process, and if you communicate them with the homeowner, you can do a top-notch job. Mm-hmm. To where if you just make all those decisions yourself, then the homeowner can look back and say, well, if I would have known I had the option, I would have done this or that. Mm-hmm. And they don't feel like it's as quality because they didn't get as many options through the process.
Yes.
So I think communication to make sure that you walk through every detail of the project makes a quality job.
Yep. And I'm going to piggyback on that one, because one of the other topics that I have, and goes right along with communicating, is honest pricing. And that doesn't mean that you're the cheapest person out there by any means. It's not about, that you charged the cheapest rate out there. But what it does mean is that you communicated clearly with the homeowner what it was going to cost. Mm-hmm. They approved it ahead of time. And you did the work and you stuck to that price. You didn't raise it. Maybe you gave them a discount if it was easier than what you thought. That's fine. But you didn't raise the price just because you wanted to make more money. You had a reason. And if there was an overage, you had a reason why you were charging more, and you had prior approval from that customer before you actually did the extra work. So honest pricing, which flows right into communicating that price, and any price changes along the way is a key to doing a good job for a customer.
Yes, that's 100% correct. You know, and I'm going to go on to another one that kind of ties into one of the other videos that we had, and had some complaints from contractors. And what I'm going to say is that the contractor cares about your whole project. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is, do they clean up after themselves?
Yeah.
Do they wear shoe coverings when they're going through your house to get to a certain room they're going to be working in? Mm-hmm. On the contractor side, a contractor always says, well, we're working. We're going to have dirty shoes. We're going to track and make messes. That's true, but you don't have to make a mess through the whole house when you're working in the kitchen.
Yep.
You know, you can put down paper to protect the flooring. Yep. You can wear shoe coverings through the house. There's a lot of little detail things you can do that makes it a good job. It makes the customer know that you care about their home. Mm-hmm. And I understand both sides of it, right? We've been in the contracting business. So as a contractor, you're in a hurry. You're trying to get a lot done. You don't really think you have time to put on the little booties when you walk through the house, or take your shoes off when you've been out in the mud, or whatever it is. But those things are important to homeowners. And if you want good customers, then you want to be a good contractor. Yes. And a good contractor cares about those details. Yep. They pick up after themselves. If you have an area where you're causing a bunch of dust, that you're going to put plastic around that area and make sure it doesn't fill the whole house with dust. Yep. There's just a lot of little things that you can do that will actually make that job heads and tails above the average contractor.
Yes. Yeah. It is not the homeowner's responsibility to make sure that you don't ruin their flooring, carpet, whatever it is that they have to get a path to the kitchen or the bathroom or wherever it is you're working. That is your responsibility to protect that stuff that you're walking on. And it is not the customer's responsibility to make sure that they, like Trent said, that there's plastic up. If you're doing drywall and you have drywall dust everywhere in a certain part of the house, it's your responsibility as a contractor to make sure that dust is contained and cleaned up. There's always times where it spills out, or you have mud on some sort of piece of carpet or something. It happens, but you can clean it up. You can be the one to take care of it, because a customer might not understand all of the little things you're doing. They might not understand how to hook up plumbing or change that outlet or whatever. But what they do understand is a clean job site when you leave. And if you leave the job even at night and you're coming back the next day, if you leave that job a mess, the contract or the homeowner is automatically going to suspect you're not doing that great of a job. They're already going to have a little bit of an issue with you. So do the things that are easy to do that make homeowners happy. Clean up after yourself. It is not that hard.
How many times have you driven by a job site and the contractors are working on a house, and the neighbor's house has plastic, cardboard, styrofoam all blown over in their yard because the contractor did not clean up after themselves when they were unpackaging things?
Yes. Yep.
I mean, there's so many little areas that just can cause you to be a step above all other contractors with keeping a clean work site, job site, even out around your vehicle.
Right.
You know, if you throw all kinds of trash in your truck and then you open the door and the wind blows it out in the neighbor's yard, it's your responsibility to pick it up.
Yes. Yep.
Clean up after yourself.
Yes. Yep. It is very important to homeowners.
For sure.
You got another one? I don't know whose turn it is to do.
Go ahead. I don't either.
Okay. Another important part of doing a good job, and you'll notice that a lot of these things that me and Trent are talking about, they are not expensive things to do.
No.
In fact, they're pretty much free, all of these items, because it's not about, it's more about how you conduct yourself as a contractor. That's what it comes down to. And normally it's free to change your behavior and your habits. Not easy sometimes, but free. So the other point that I wanted to make is showing up on time. This goes right along, I think, with importance to the homeowner as cleaning up your job site. When you show up on time, it creates a little bit of a sense of, I can depend on this contractor in the homeowner's mind. They know that you keep your word. You show up every morning at the same time. You do, if you aren't going to show up, you communicated why and when you will come there. And if you're like a service call industry where you have 10 small jobs to do in a day, then give them windows of time, and don't be like Lowe's and Menards and Home Depot that give a 5-hour window. Give them a 1 hour window, a 2 hour window at the most, and then communicate if that changes. But showing up on time is something that is easy to do. It's easy to do. If you're not going to show up on time, you communicate, and then you show up on the time you communicated. It's an easy thing to do, and it creates for the customer, I think it creates a trust level with you as a contractor, that you show up when you said, and that you're doing work, that you're actually getting things done like what they want.
Yes, for sure. Another point I would like to mention is when you finish a project, if you have a part of that project that you was hoping covered up really well so the homeowner wouldn't see it, then I doubt you've done a good job on that project. You really need to have every aspect of your project done correctly so you have no issue explaining any of the work that you completed to the homeowner to feel confident about what you've done.
Yes.
I know so many times with remodeling and building that you'll hear contractors talk about, well, that's going to be covered up. It don't matter. Well, you're not going to see it. It's behind drywall. Well, whatever be the case, that's not good quality work. You want things done in a way that if they rip that drywall off down the road, or if they open up that wall, that you're going to be proud of the work you have completed behind it.
Yes. Yeah, that goes back to, oh my gosh, keeping a clean job site. It won't shock you because you guys are contractors. So many times there will be trash piled up in the walls or in the crawl space where they don't think the homeowner's going to see it. And you know what? If they have a leak, they have something they got to do, and they cut into that drywall like Trent said, or they get into the crawl space, and they see a pile of cans and trash, that is so unprofessional. And yes, you will not get called back. The homeowner is not going to think that that's cool.
That's no kidding. That's for sure. Another little extra thing that you can do, and obviously some of these things will be determined by how big of a job it is, what all it amounted to, because some of the things you can obviously do yourself. But one of the things that we highly recommend, if you have a large job and you've done a lot of work at a certain location, then hire a cleaning company to come in and clean when you're done. So when you leave, that place is cleaner than what it was when you started. Now, a lot of times, if it's a smaller job or whatever, you can have your employees clean it. But I can tell you, construction workers do not clean as well as an actual cleaning company. So if it's any size job at all, figure in the money to have a cleaning company clean up after you when you're done, so it's organized. Now, that doesn't mean you don't keep things picked up along the way. It just means that they're going to leave it nicer than what it was when you got there.
Yep. And that plays into too, if you take photos of your work afterwards. It's much better to take photos of your job after it's been cleaned and it looks great than dirt and dust everywhere in the job site.
For sure.
Yeah. Another thing, and this kind of just, this is actually my last point, hopefully you got more, but is what does it mean to do a good job? And I think it means one of the things is to stay organized in every part. And this goes into the cleaning, this goes into communicating, into the pricing even. Stay organized as a company, keep the job organized, and your customers will love you for staying organized, and your crews will love you for staying organized, and guess what? Your bank account will love you if you stay organized. So if you're not good at being organized, and I know there's probably a lot of contractors out there that own their business, and they're probably, I would say, at least in my experience, 9 out of 10 are not organized, but they are really good at meeting people and even doing the work sometimes and stuff like that. So hire somebody if you need to help you stay organized. I shouldn't say 9 times out of 10. There's some others coming to my mind that are very organized. But if you struggle with being organized, then hire somebody. Like, that's the benefit of being the owner of a company. You get to hire people that have strong suits where you're weak. So an organization is something that will help you grow your business and will help you grow your profits and your customers.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that's a big one also. Another one that's going to seem kind of funny that I feel like is a key to doing a good job, and that is if you have employees or you yourself are in a place where you're driving an older vehicle. Mm-hmm. Okay? When you get to the job site, don't park your older vehicle on a concrete driveway and let it leak oil all over the driveway while you're working inside. Yes. It sounds kind of funny, but that's a big deal to people. So if you or your employees have an older vehicle, that's fine. There's nothing against having an older vehicle, but park out on the side of the road or something. Do not park in their driveway and leave a mess where you've been parking every day. That's a big deal, and I've actually heard of contractors being sued over that type of thing because people had a real nice driveway. Their employees just made a mess of it. They had a power washing company come out to try to clean it, and they couldn't even get it cleaned off. It was such a mess. And that's just one of those things that's the difference between a good job and a bad job. Not necessarily in the room or the house, but overall, as a project, that can qualify you for a bad job real quickly.
Yes. Yeah, and you're, as a contractor, you're not there to be friends with this person. You don't, like, their property is their property. You should treat it like it's somebody else's property, not like your buddy and, you know, my house. What's the saying? Your house is my house. I can't say it in Spanish because I don't know Spanish, but that it's not true. It's not your house. and your goal is not to just be buddy with these people, because friends usually have something that they haven't talked to each other about. that's kind of underlying there. You don't want that. You want to have a professional relationship with these customers and make them feel like you respect their property.
Yeah, that's for sure. And to piggyback on that, it's kind of like when you're working at somebody's property, park in their driveway or alongside the road. Don't park in their yard unless you get permission. Mm-hmm. You know, how many times do you see contractors pull up in a homeowner's yard and park, and the homeowner didn't okay that? They didn't tell them that they were fine with it. Or when you're getting a dumpster delivered, you just have it put wherever you want and do not talk to the homeowner. That's not good.
No.
So treat it like it's yours. The driveway and the road are what vehicles are for. If you want to get permission from the homeowner to park in the yard or the field or whatever that is, that's fine. But don't just assume that you can
Yes.
do whatever you want, because like Ethan said, they're not your best buddy.
Yep.
They just want you to do a good job
Yep.
and take care of their property like it's yours.
Yes.
Or maybe not like it's yours, maybe like they want you to take
Yes.
care.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Okay, what else you got? Anything?
That's the end of my list.
There you go.
Got another one?
Okay. Well, as you talk about this, there's just so many different things you can go into.
Oh, yeah.
But you can look, you can go to any big box store, if I can spit it out, and you can look. They've got so many things that make it easier. Like I know when we were doing contracting, we had these extension poles that you could just get a roll of plastic and you could extend these poles to the ceiling and the floor. And you
Yes.
could make a literal wall or roomed in area
Yeah.
out of the plastic, and you could have a zipper in it.
Yep.
There's so many different things out there that will just show your customer that you're really going the extra mile to take
Yes.
care of their property.
Yep.
And if you don't know, like a lot of times you may meet someone and you kind of got a feeling they're not too picky, but you're not 100% sure as a contractor. Just ask them. Just be a person who communicates through the process. Don't ever just assume that they're okay with something.
Yes.
Communicate that with them and make sure you're on the same page before you do something and find out that your thought process was wrong about this
Yes.
customer.
Yes.
Okay.
It comes down to, I guess I did have one more point, but this was a short one.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to, if the customer is happy when you have left the job, then you did a good job. And if you are proud of the work that the customer doesn't know about. But really, making the customer happy is the key. And if you can do that, and you can do a good job for the things the customer doesn't see, doesn't know, then you've done a good job as a contractor.
Yep. I think so for the most part. I would say if you listen to our video and it makes you mad, then you may have some things to work on.
Yes.
Because if you listen to our video and you're like, well, them guys, they just don't know what they're talking about, that's fine. We don't care if you agree with everything we say. But if it makes you mad, you probably need to improve in some area.
Yes.
We all need to get better at what we do, right?
Yes.
So if you feel like you're the perfect contractor, then maybe you don't need to worry about anything because you're so booked up that it's
And
not
we
going
would
to
love
matter.
to interview you for the rest of us.
There you go.
So we
That's
know,
right.
how do you get to be perfect? Yes.
All right. So, do you want to tell them about?
Yeah, so you guys can interact with us, ask us questions on our website, thecontractorfiles.com. You can also, if you need help and you need advice for your business, we do have a Get Help page. And we also have a estimating app that is coming out here soon, hopefully the first quarter of next year. Actually, when this podcast is airing, now that I think about it, it's actually going to be airing, I think, in January. So we'll be looking at here very soon, if you're listening to this podcast, we will be releasing an estimating app. Sign up for our emails on our website, and we will keep you informed when that's officially released.
There you go. Yep. So keep an eye on it. Subscribe, like.
Yep.
Even if you don't like.
Yes. Yep.
And pass along our videos. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Be sure to share this podcast with your friends and family. To ask us any questions that might get answered in our next podcasts, please visit our website, thecontractorfiles.com. Have a great rest of your day.